Hey everybody, how are you? I hope everyone's doing well. I am just trying to find myself on the computer for class so I can make sure everything's in the right place and that I can see your comments. Let's see. There I am. Make sure this is turned down. There we go. Okay, so far it looks like I'm the only one here, so I'm gonna wait just a couple minutes to see if anybody else shows up. Hey Paula, how are you, sweetheart? So I've been playing with this and I've been experimenting with it, and I have to say I haven't really found any colors that I'm like super thrilled with lately. And I don't know if it's because my hand hurts, so I'm not really coloring that well, or what the deal is, but I promise I will do my absolute best for you guys. I thought I would go ahead and color him as red, white, and blue for the balloon, just because 4th of July is coming up and he would be really cute for 4th of July. The colors, hey Susan, how are you, honey? So the colors I'm going to use today for the bunny are going to be my norm, the 50, E50, E51, E55, and then for his nose I have R00, R01, and R02. So I'm going to start off with the bunny, and I'm going to start with E53. So move those out of the way. I normally just start with like his little neck area. I just love these bunnies. They are so stinking cute. Did you guys get your bunnies too? Let's see, and then just gonna go around his little head a little bit. I'm gonna have the sun coming from both directions. And I love this little guy. I can't even tell you how much I love him. I'm so happy that when Cat's Pajamas went digital that I was able to, that they were able, not me, but they were able to bring him over into the digis. So his little hands, I colored the inside because the light's going to be coming from either side. So it would just be the inside of his little hands. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of a line here. Do one here. I normally don't do the inside of his ears. I usually just leave them flat. But lately I've noticed that I've been coloring the insides of his ears too, like making them big and floppy and stuff. Giving them a little bit of shape because he has very, very big ears. Bring his ears up. And again, just give him some shape. And if you don't like them like this, you don't have to color them like this. You don't have to put the lines in or anything like that, but it does give him a little bit of shape. So he looks like he's got big old ears standing up. Oh, whoops, I forgot underneath his nose. You need a little bit of shading underneath his nose. And just bring it up, you know, just taper it up on the sides, coming up the sides. So now I'm going to go ahead and use E51. Hey Cindy. Hey Rosie. So, whoops. Keep my hands on them today, that would be nice. E51, I'm just going to pull out this, I'm just tapping it, I'm barely even flicking it. I'm just going to pull out this E53. And just pull all this out. Susan, if your favorite colors are red, white, and blue, you should be excited and happy that 4th of July is coming up. So let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit on the inside of his ear, but not a whole lot. I'm going to come up the sides here. Come up the sides, cover that, blend out that line a little bit, get the inside of his ear. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start, I'm going to put in some R01 into his ears and on his nose. So I'm just gonna put that right where the lines should be. And then I'm gonna put this on the edge of his nose. I know that's kind of backwards for where the shading and the shadow is at, but if I put it in the center of his nose, he actually looks quite funny. So that's the only place that my shading is a little different. Now I'm going to use R00, and I'm going to finish out his nose. And I'm going to finish out the inside of his ears. Hey Debbie, how are you, sweetheart? I'm having to remember to look over at my computer monitor instead of my tablet, because my tablet used to be right in front of me so I could just look up. I am not used to that. So now I'm going to use E55, and I'm going to go ahead and do the inside, that inside line of his ear, but I'm not going to go all the way up and around like I did with the E53. Just making the shadow lines, the contrast. Go. And then I'm going to put some contrast here on the inside underneath his little neck and just on the other side of his little paws. And I'll put some on underneath his nose. We're also going to need contrast on his nose. So I'm doing that with R02. And I'm going to put just a little bit in his ears. Right where that line, the same line where I put the E55. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend that out with the R01, which it looks like that needs to be refilled a bit there. It's looking a little pale. You can tell how much I use that for sure. And then pull out his little nose a bit. And then use the R01 to pull it and smooth it all back out. Since my R01 is a bit dry, this should help it along a bit. But see, you can really get the depth in there of the ears when you do just the contrast on the inside there. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to, where am I going to go back to? What am I doing? Here it is, my E53. Just going to do a little bit around the ear. Pull that E55 out that I put there a little bit. Same with this ear. There we go. And then pull this out, this E55 out. There we go. Get the hand, his little hands. And get underneath his little nose. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the E50, see if that's going to give me the look that I want. If not, I'll go back with the E51. But I'm just going to finish him out. Another fun thing to make him look fuzzy is you can do him with dots, or you can do him with a towel, like with the clear blender fluid. You can do that with a towel. Just don't do his nose or his ears first. You got to do just the brown parts first. There we go. So the basket is another thing that you can do with the clear blending fluid, is you can take burlap and color this brown and then do burlap. It will more than likely run into your little presents that are there, but that is something that you can do. Who here likes Fanta? I love Fanta. I ordered the kids pizza for lunch today because they were doing so good on their schoolwork. So every time we get pizza, I always get them orange Fanta. So now we have the red, white, and blue, or we can do the basket first. Think I'm gonna go ahead and just do the basket first, get that out of the way. I'm gonna use E44, E43, and E42 for that. I don't want it to be like a really dark brown basket, but I do want it to be a brown basket. So I'm gonna go ahead. Paula, you love Fanta? You're my girl. Love me some Fanta. So when I'm going to do a pattern, sometimes I will go ahead and just color this in with the lightest color that I'm using. Okay, we did this with the couch that we did a long time ago. Let's see, get around this present. I don't want to go through the present. I can go through the bow because the bow isn't gonna, we're not gonna color the bow. Or at least I'm not. You might. You could color the inside of the little bow if you wanted to. Make it stand out a whole bunch if you like. Okay, so there's the first layer. Now for E43, actually let me see. Yeah, I can do it. So I'm going to use this end. I don't use that end very much, but I'm just going to go ahead and go across. The best that I can. I'm not using a ruler or anything like that. You can, but I'm not. Because I figured the more wonky it looks, the more it looks like I actually did it. And everybody knows I do wonky. So I'm just drawing lines across, and using the chisel tip to draw your lines is actually nice, because then you don't have to worry about your nib squishing down and it being circular or anything like that. So now I'm going to go the other way. I may not even use the E44. But this is one thing that you can use the chisel tip, because I hardly ever use a chisel tip at all. And I'll have to go around and clean the outside up, just because I am going off the edge a little bit on the bottom. There we go. You like it too, Cindy? Yay! So now what I'm going to do, I lied. I am going to use the E44. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to just color some shading in, because we have our basket lines, right? So now I just want to put in a little bit of shading. And I'm going to actually just put some shading in right here underneath the little lip that he's hanging on to. And you might lose, when you're doing the shading and that, you might lose a little bit of the lines, but that's okay, because you know what? You can always go back in as well to do the lines. Okay, and pull that E44 out a little bit. Oh, and I'm using E42 to do that. And I'm just kind of blending this a little bit. But this will give it more of a shape instead of it just looking like you drew lines across as well. So, and if you don't want the exact lines, like how they're so sharp and everything, if you want them to look a little dulled, you can just shade it in a little bit more. Or what you can do too is grab your E41 and that'll go over it as well, and just kind of blend and shade everything. Okay. So that's the little basket. Now we need the red, white, and blue. So I'm going to do more of a traditional red, white, and blue. You can also do, oh, you know what we should do? Oh, that would be fun. Fun, fun, fun. We should do the blue. We should do like jeans. That would be so fun. So here we go. So I'm going to do red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red, white. So let's see, red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red, white, just so I don't screw it up, because you guys know I will screw it up. I will completely forget where I'm at, what I'm doing. So I'm going to do this with the RO5. I'm going to do red, white, blue, red, white, blue, red, and white. There. Now I have it pinned down to what in the heck I'm doing, so I don't forget and lose my place. But I think it'll look fun with the like the jeans and then red. It'll be so cute. Like he made like a little patchwork one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the two blues at the same time. First, just like jeans, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use B91 to just color it, because you know that it will change the colors, and I am going down, up and down with my colors. Some people try to go side to side, but sometimes that can be a little hard depending on the design. But if you can do it side to side, I totally would say do it that way. So here we go. Just getting that light blue in there. That way we can make it look like jeans. Now, if you'll notice when I'm coloring this one, even though, I mean, your strokes always matter. Okay, so for this one, the scratch paper, I'm actually going like this. I'm not going in a straight line. I'm curving it. That way it kind of looks billowed out. Okay. Now, when I said go side to side, I meant you could go like this and make it look billowed that way. Okay, but sometimes that's not always possible. So you just have to kind of do the best that you can. So our next color is going to be B97. Now B97, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to show you what I mean by going side to side, even though I've already started going up and down. Okay, so I'm just, this is the crack in between the two little parts of the balloon. So we need that just like ruffles, okay? Oh yeah, think of it that way. This is the middle part of the ruffles, so we're just going out, and so we have to, now we have to go this side. Okay. Do a little bit more on his ear because that's going to cause a shadow. We'll go out a little bit. Even up here, we'll go out a little bit. So that was B97. Now we need B95. So when I said go out, I mean like go out this way, okay? And kind of curve it around. But that isn't always possible depending on the design and what you have going on. So I'm just pulling this out as I'm going down. Not putting anything on the other side, just on the one side. And then you'll want to taper it down as well. Okay, this one I have to switch because otherwise I won't. And this one I'm just going to, well, I guess I can't. I have to do it this way if I want that little billowed look. Okay, and you just pull out the B97, oops, B97. Thank goodness that can be corrected. And then we're going to go with B93. And I'm not pulling, I'm going in about halfway. I'm not pulling it all the way out. If you go back all the way, it'll still change the other blue and it'll still be just perfectly fine, so don't worry. And actually here, I'll just pull it all the way out so you guys can see that it's okay if you do that as well. With jeans, it's okay to, with jean material, you know, it's okay to do that. It's gonna look fine. Now another blue that you can use if you want more of a traditional blue instead of the jean blue is you can use B21, B24, B26, and like B28. And that will get you a nice red, white, and blue color as well if you would rather go that way. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do B91 again. Again, just from the one side, and I'm actually blending in instead of blending out. Okay, let's see, let me do this side. Get that B91 in there, get it to shine. Here we go. Now you can go ahead and, like I said, use the color blending fluid to go ahead and get that jean look for you. I just decided that I thought it would look nice like this for the red. Now I'm using my colorless to go ahead and clean up that blue that I had in there before it really starts to set in, because that's going to be a white section, so we don't really want the white in there. Okay. So now I'm going to use R05, R29, R17, and I'll use R59 if I need it. As you know, I didn't even use the B99, not yet. Let's see, so I'm going to start off with, whoops, that's R14, not R17. R17. I'm going to go ahead and start off with R29. So I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other one, but I'm not going to fill it in. All I'm going to do is put it up on the line there for the shading and pull it up a little bit. So these front ones, you're going to have shading on this side. Okay. And you're also going to have shading in the center. And since we have white right here, you're gonna have to be really careful with your red. Don't push down on it. Hold it like a paintbrush, not like a crayon. That way it doesn't bleed. Because if you're pushing hard and you're letting it sit on your, because see, look, watch. If I push hard, what's it doing? You can actually see it coming out from the ink because it's just sitting there. But if I push light, look at that. So this is crayon, okay? This is paintbrush. So don't hold it down, just let it glide. So here we go. Get around his ear. Okay, so this one is not going to have anything on this side, just the one side, and same with this one. Let me see, it looks like somebody said something, but I don't have my glasses on. There we go. Okay, so now R17, same thing. You don't want it to run, so don't push hard. Hold it like a paintbrush. And I'm just going to put that much there. I'm not going to do very much at all. Okay, pull this up a bit. This one, I'm going to show you the difference between going side to side like this one and going up and down. I will tell you up and down is better, but I think you get a better look with going side to side. Here we go. Get this one out a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to use my R05 to do the rest of it. And I'm just going to finish this out over here. Can you guys see a difference yet between the side to side and just going up and down? Excuse me, what a difference it makes. Looks like my R05 is starting to give out on me. Here we go. And then get this side. So since my R05 started to go out on me a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my R08. Which way do you like better, Susan? Do you like the side to side or the up and down? Let's see. Just filling this out with the R08. There we go. Okay, so there's the red, white, now, or the red and the blue. Now we need the white, but it looks like I got some blue up here as well, so I'll clean that up before I do anything with the white. Now, if you do this with red, all it's going to do is make your red bleed. So don't use your colorless blender to try to clean up any of your red, because it'll just be a nightmare. to clean up your red if you get anything out of your red. Watch, because I have red right there, and now I don't. So use a white gel pen if you go out of the line with red. It'll work so much better. Yes, the side to side definitely has more depth to it. To me, it looks a lot better. So now I'm gonna go ahead and use my B99. And I'm just putting in some contrast here to really